You've been told to change your thoughts, but nobody told you the part that actually bends reality. Your nervous system doesn't obey thoughts. It obeys feeling. You can repeat, "I am successful," until your throat is dry. But if your chest is tight, your stomach is knotted, and your body is vibrating with the fear of failure, the field doesn't listen to the sentence. It listens to the signal. That's why your life doesn't move. You're trying to repaint the surface while the electrical wiring underneath is still burned and twisted. New words on top of the same emotional program. You've done this. You promised yourself, "From tomorrow, I'll be confident, disciplined, fearless." Then the moment you needed that identity most, speaking up, setting a boundary, taking a risk, your body dragged you back, heart racing, throat closing, mind flooding with what-ifs. The old feeling won, and with it, the old reality. Not because you're weak, because you've misunderstood what actually writes the code. Thought is the blueprint. Feeling is the ink. From the perspective of consciousness, you are not just a mind in a skull. You're a field of energy, chemistry, memory, and habit that has been rehearsing the same emotional states for years. Your body isn't just carrying your past, it's addicted to it. Every strong emotion you repeat, anxiety, shame, resentment, helplessness, creates chemical signatures your cells get used to. Over time, your nervous system starts to crave them. It will scan your environment, your relationships, and your imagination for any excuse to trigger its favorite feelings. That's why you can be objectively safe but still feel in danger, loved but still feel abandoned, capable but still feel like an imposter. For you, reality is not what's happening. Reality is what your body has learned to feel. Now plug this into the observer effect. At the quantum level, reality sits in potential until something observes it. But observation isn't just looking with your eyes. It's attention charged with emotion. When you obsess over what you fear, you're not just thinking negatively. You're giving the field a clear, coherent instruction written in cortisol and adrenaline. That's why bad moods magnetize bad days. You wake up irritated, and somehow traffic, people, messages, and events line up to match it. You say, "I knew today would be like this." You think you predicted the day. You actually programmed it. Your feeling state is the frequency you broadcast into the field. And the field mirrors that, not to punish you, but because resonance is law. Two tuning forks of the same note vibrate together. Two emotional fields of the same quality find and amplify each other. This is what Neville Goddard meant by feeling is the secret. He wasn't talking about vague positivity. He was telling you, the reality you get is not the one you wish for in your mind. It's the one your nervous system treats as normal. Think about why certain people seem lucky the moment they genuinely let go. There comes a point where they're done with begging reality to change. Somewhere deep inside, there is a quiet shift, a new baseline feeling of self-respect, of worthiness, of calm inevitability. Nothing huge has happened outside yet, but inside, they no longer vibrate like someone starving. Then the job appears. The relationship stabilizes. The opportunity surfaces. From the outside, it looks random. From the inside, they know. Something changed here, then out there. You felt this in small ways. The moment you finally stopped needing someone, they reached out. The moment you stopped obsessing over a problem, the answer came. When you stopped feeling desperate, doors opened. The world didn't suddenly become kind. Your signal changed. Here's the brutal part. As long as your dominant emotion is fear, lack, resentment, or unworthiness. You will keep unconsciously selecting people, situations, and timelines that let you feel more of the same. Not because you deserve it, but because your system is calibrated to it. You say you want peace, but your body is wired for chaos. You say you want abundance, but your gut is clenched around scarcity. You say you want love, but your nervous system only recognizes anxiety as chemistry. Until you change the feeling, you will sabotage every reality that doesn't match your old chemistry. You will leave good people because they feel boring. You will reject good opportunities because they feel too much. You will crawl back into what your body knows, even if it quietly destroys you. So how do you change this without lying to yourself? You don't jump from terror to blind faith. You start by reclaiming your ability to generate feeling on purpose. Most people let emotion happen to them. Trigger, reaction. Memory, reaction. Headline, reaction. They live downstream of their own chemistry, dragged by every wave. You're going to reverse it. You're going to train your nervous system like a muscle. Pick one core feeling that matches the reality you want. Not 10. 1. Grounded confidence. Quiet sufficiency. I have enough and I am enough. Deep safety. Clean determination. Choose. Understand something. Your system already knows this state. Somewhere in your history you have touched it, even for seconds. You're not inventing something fake. You're recalling something true. Sit. Breathe. Bring to mind a moment you actually felt that state. A time you solved something that mattered. A time someone saw you and you believed them. A time you handled something you thought you couldn't. Or a time you were simply at peace in your own skin. Don't obsess over the story. It's just a doorway. Go straight to the body. How did your chest feel? Your face, your breathing, your posture? Stay there until your body recreates even 5% of that feeling now. That 5% is stronger than 100 emotionless affirmations. You are teaching your nervous system. This is available. This is safe. This is allowed. Then while that feeling is active, even lightly, you bring in your future self. Not as a fantasy, but as the natural extension of that state. What does someone who lives in this feeling do with their time? How do they speak? How do they respond to stress? What do they tolerate? What do they stop feeding completely? This isn't woo. This is neuroplasticity and chemistry. Your brain wires according to what you repeatedly feel and imagine. Your cells respond to the hormones those feelings release. Placebo and nocebo prove belief alone can heal or harm. Over time, your external life starts to resemble the emotional climate you keep broadcasting. The point is not to sit in a corner, feeling good, while your life burns. This is not spiritual anesthesia. The point is, if you try to change your life with the same emotional state that created it, you will rebuild the same prison with nicer furniture. You can hustle from panic and force results, but you'll take your panic with you. More money, same fear. New partner, same dynamic. New city, same emptiness. Different scenery, same nervous system. Real change requires a new emotional home. At first, your old chemistry will fight. Your body will crave familiar anger, familiar anxiety, familiar self-pity. Not because they're good, because they're known. You'll feel the pull to collapse back into, at least this feeling is mine. This is where discipline actually matters. Not the discipline of punishing yourself into action. The discipline of choosing your state again and again. You catch yourself sliding into the old feeling. Instead of letting it hit 100%, you interrupt. You breathe. You put a hand on your chest or your gut. You remember, even faintly, the chosen feeling. You shift your posture out of collapse, and you take the next action from that new state, even if it feels a little unnatural. Repeat this enough, and your nervous system starts believing you. The fake feeling becomes more familiar than the old one. Triggers lose some of their force. People who used to destabilize you lose access. Choices that once felt impossible become obvious. The field didn't suddenly change the rules. You became less available for certain timelines. And this is why so much spiritual and mindset work feels blocked for people. They understand everything intellectually. They watch the videos, read the books, share the quotes. But their body is still living in an old century. Knowledge that doesn't penetrate feeling stays in the head. It doesn't recode the body. It doesn't send a new signal. The matrix isn't only outside, systems, culture, algorithms. It's inside. Emotional patterns so old you call them my personality. When you begin to shift your emotional state on purpose, it feels like treason to that inner matrix. Every cell conditioned to live on adrenaline, guilt, or shame will call you unrealistic, selfish, delusional. It will try to drag you back to the loop. Ignore it. You're not denying reality. You're refusing to keep worshiping an emotional story that already proved it can't take you where you want to go. Feeling is not something you add on top when everything is fixed. It is the core command. Every single day, whether you admit it or not, you are answering one question. Am I rehearsing the feelings that keep me in this timeline, or training the ones that match the life I say I want? No universe, no mentor can answer that for you. The field responds to what you consistently are, not what you occasionally wish. You've spent years letting emotion happen to you, shaped by your past and by systems that profit from your fear. From now on, you start walking back into the control room. You watch what your body is rehearsing. You interrupt what no longer deserves your energy. You deliberately grow the states that match the reality you're calling in. Yes, think differently. Yes, act differently. But above all, feel differently, on purpose, until the field has no choice but to recognize you as someone new. Because in the end, reality isn't listening to your words. It's listening to your nervous system. Feeling was always the secret. No one taught you how to use it. Now you know.
You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me.